Have you ever dreamed of creating your own marketplace where people can buy and sell anything from vintage vinyl to yoga mats? Well, buckle up because I'm about to take you on a wild ride through the world of building an Offerup clone. So here's how to build a website like Offerup. So picture this. You're scrolling through your phone looking for a secondhand bicycle and boom, you stumble upon the perfect ride at a steal of a price. That's the magic of Offerup. And today, I'm going to show you how to sprinkle some of that magic into your own website. Offerup's business model is pretty straightforward. Connect local buyers and sellers, take a small cut of the action, and watch the transactions roll in. It's like being the cool middleman at the giant garage sale, but without the sunburn and haggling over the questionable lava lamp. Now, before we dive into the nitty gritty, let's talk about the key features that make a marketplace website pop. Number one is its user-friendly settings, because no one wants to navigate a digital maze just to sell their old toaster. Secure messaging, so buyers and sellers can chat without sharing their personal digits. Location-based searches, because let's face it, no one's driving across the country for a used coffee maker. Reviews and ratings, to keep the community honest and thriving. Mobile optimization, because in 2023, if it's not mobile friendly, does it even exist? So whether you're a coding wizard or just a starry-eyed entrepreneur with a dream, stick around. I'm about to show you how to actually go from I wish I could build that to holy smokes, I actually built that. So let's go and get started. Planning and research. So let's dive into the world of planning and research for your Offerup style website. This is where the magic begins, and trust me, it's not as boring as it sounds. First up, we've got market analysis. This is like being a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're figuring out who's going to love your website. Who are these mysterious people who will be buying and selling on your platform? Are they tech-savvy millennials looking for vintage finds, or busy parents trying to declutter their homes? Once you've got your target audience nailed down, it's time to snoop in on your competitors. What are they doing right now? What are they doing wrong? And most importantly, how can you do it better? Next, let's talk about feature lists. This is where you get to play Santa and make a wish list of all the cool stuff you want on your website. Start with must-haves. We're talking about user profiles, functionality, and messaging systems. These are your bread and butter. Then sprinkle in some nice-to-haves like AI-powered recommendations or augmented reality features just for viewing items. Just remember, don't go overboard. You're building a marketplace, not the next Cyberpunk 2077. Last but definitely not least, we've got the monetization strategy, because let's face it, we all want to make some of that dough, right? The classic move here is a commission-based model. You take a small cut of each transaction. It's like being a tiny digital middleman, but why stop there? Consider premium listings for sellers who want their items to stand out, or advertising options for local businesses. Just don't go full used car salesman on your users. Keep it classy. Remember folks, this planning stage is crucial. It's like laying the foundation for a house, and get it right and everything will fall into place. So take your time, do your homework, and get ready to build something awesome. As far as technical requirements go, I want to talk about it, okay? So building a website like Offerup isn't just about pretty pictures and cool features, it's also about choosing the right tools for the job. Think of it as like picking the perfect ingredients for a delicious tech soup. So first up, we've got the technology stack. For the front end, that's what users see and interact with. You might want to consider React or Vue.js. These bad boys are like the superheroes of user interfaces. Fast, flexible, and ready to save the day. On the back end, Node.js or Python could be your best pals. They're like the wizards of the web, handling all the complex stuff without breaking a sweat. Now for storing all that juicy data, you'll need a database. Mongo database or PostgreSQL are all solid choices. Think of them as super organized filing cabinets for your digital stuff. Choose wisely though. But wait, there's more. You'll need somewhere to host this masterpiece. So cloud hosting solutions like AWS or Google Cloud are cozy homes for your website, keeping it safe and sound. And don't forget content delivery, networks, CDNs. They're like a team of speedy delivery drivers, making sure that your content reaches users faster than you can say marketplace. And last but not least, you need third-party services. You'll need a payment gateway to handle those sweet transactions, and geolocation services will help users find local deals, and push notification services will keep everyone in the loop. It's like having a bunch of helpful little elves working behind the scenes. So those are your tech ingredients for your Offerup style website. Mix them together with a dash of creativity and you'll be cooking up a storm in no time. Now when it comes to building a website like Offerup, nailing the design and user experience is crucial. You want users to feel right at home from the moment they land on your website. So let's dive into the key elements that make your marketplace pop. So first up, UI and UX design. As far as this goes, start by wireframing your ideas. Think of it as like sketching out a blueprint of your site. Tools like Figma or Sketch are great for this. Once you've got your wireframes, it's time to actually create the interactive prototypes. This is where you'll start to see your marketplace come to life. Now here's a pro tip. Adopt a mobile first approach, okay? So with that being said, with more people browsing on their phones than ever before, you want to make sure that your website looks awesome on smaller screens. Trust me, your users will thank you for it. Now let's talk about must-have pages and components. Your homepage is your digital storefront, so make it count. Include a killer search function that lets users find exactly what they're looking for in seconds. Product listing pages should be clean and informative with high-quality images and all the essential details. Don't forget about user profiles. These help build trust in your community. And speaking of a community, a smooth messaging system is key for buyers and sellers to connect. Make it easy for users to chat and negotiate deals right on their platform. And last but not least, responsive design is non-negotiable. Your site needs to look great and function flawlessly when someone's browsing on a phone, tablet, or desktop. Test, test, and test again across different devices to ensure a seamless experience for all your users. Remember that a well-designed marketplace isn't just about looking pretty, it's about creating an intuitive, enjoyable experience that keeps users coming back for more. So put on your designer hat and start creating a marketplace that users will love. Now, as far as going into the meat and potatoes of your Offerup clone, the core functionality, that's where it's at. And this is where the magic happens. So first, we've got a user authentication. You'll need a solid registration and login system to keep track of who's who. Think about integrating social media logins too, because let's face it, who wants to remember another password? It's all about making your lives easier for your users. Now, if we're talking about product management, this is where your users will create and manage your listings. Make sure the process is as smooth as butter. Easy image uploads, intuitive form fields, the works, and don't forget imaging processing. Nobody wants to see a blurry picture of that vintage lap they're eyeing. Now onto search and discovery. This is crucial. Your users need to find what they're looking for pronto, so implement advanced search filters. Think categories, price ranges, condition, you name it. And here's where it gets fancy. Geolocation based results, because who wants to drive around for that $5 toaster? Last but not least, that messaging system. This is where the deals are made and broken, so you need real-time chat functionality that's fresher than a fresh jar of Skippy. And don't forget push notifications. Your users need to know when someone's interested in your stuff, even when they're not glued to the app. And remember, the goal here is to make everything as user-friendly as possible. Your users should be able to list an item, find what they need, and chat with a potential buyer without breaking a sweat. Nail these core functionalities and you'll be well on your way to creating the next big thing in online marketplaces. Now, if we're talking about your Offerup clone and making it as secure as Fort Knox, that is the way to go. Trust is the secret sauce that'll make or break your marketplace, so you've got to nail that as well. User verification. We're not talking about a simple, yup, that's an email address check. We want to make sure real people are behind those accounts. So let's implement email and phone verification. It's like a digital handshake. Nice to meet you. Prove you're not a robot. For the extra paranoid, throw in some ID verification options. It's like showing your driver's license at a bar, but for the internet age. Now onto fraud prevention. We need a solid reporting system because let's face it, some people suck. Make it easy for users to flag suspicious activity faster than you can say that's definitely not a real Rolex. But wait, there's more. We can be proactive with some fancy algorithms automatically detect when something fishy is going on. It's like having a digital bouncer that never sleeps. And last but not least, secure transactions. This is where the rubber meets the road, folks. An escrow system is your new best friend here. It's like a trusted middleman holding onto cash until everyone's happy. Pair that with rock solid, secure payment processing and you've got a transaction smoother than that buttered up slip and slide. Remember, in the world of online marketplaces, trust isn't just nice to have. It's the whole ballgame. Nail these security features and you'll have users feeling safer than a bubble wrapped cat in a pillow factory. Now go forth and build that fort. Now I want to bring to your point mobile apps because let's face it, if you're not in people's pockets, you're missing out on a huge chunk of the market. So we've got the age-old debate, native versus hybrid app. It's like choosing between a tailored suit and a really good off-the-rack option. Native apps are built specifically for iOS or Android, giving you a smooth, buttery performance and access to all the device's cool features. But here's the catch. You'll need separate code bases for each platform, right? So on the other hand, hybrid apps are like the Swiss Army knives of the app world. Write once, deploy everywhere. Frameworks like React Native or Flutter let you create apps that work on both iOS and Android. Sure, you might sacrifice a tiny bit of performance, but you'll save time and money. Plus, these frameworks have come a long way. Most users won't even notice a difference. Now, let's talk features. As I mentioned before, your app needs to be more than just a pretty face. Here are some must-haves that I've already mentioned before. Push notifications, right? Because who doesn't love a ding telling them that they've got a hot offer? Camera integration. Make it super easy for users to snap pics of the stuff and list it in seconds. Geolocation services, guys. This is going to help buyers find stuff nearby because let's be real, no one wants to drive across town for that used toaster I keep mentioning. And remember, your app should make listing and buying stuff as easy as ordering pizza. Keep it simple, fast, and for love of all the holy, make sure that camera integration is on point. Nothing kills a listing faster than blurry, dimly lit photos of what might be a coffee table or is it really a bookshelf? Whether you go native or hybrid, just make sure that your app is snappy, intuitive, and packed with these key features, and your user will thank you and your download numbers will show it.